I'm Jay Burney, and welcome to the September 2020 Birders Roundtable, sponsored by the Birds on Niagara Winter Festival. We've got a great group tonight, some really neat topics, and I think you're going to love it if you love birds. But first, I want to talk to you about a very interesting project that is being conducted in Buffalo's Outer Harbor. It's called the Buffalo Outer Harbor Fall Bioblitz. It's a project that you do through an application, citizen science, community science application called iNaturalist. It's a nice complement to eBird, and it's just an application you can put on your phone, put on your computer, take pictures. It'll help you identify what you see, and then report your observations to iNaturalist. And in this case, we've created this project, the Buffalo Outer Harbor Fall Bioblitz. We, being the Pollinator Conservation Association, and all of our partners, including Birds on the Niagara. And so you can participate, and it's really easy, and it'll help us build an inventory of what we have in this wonderful waterfront area. It's known for its natural beauty. It's known for its ecological importance. I mean, it has ecological integrity, biodiversity that supports locally, regionally, hemispherically, and even globally. I mean, this is the western gateway of the Niagara River corridor, globally significant, important bird area. The birds that use this area are really important birds and need conservation strategies. It's also part of Ramsar, which is an international wetland of significance. It's an important place, and we need to work to make sure that we save the ecology, the biodiversity, and the nature of this place so that humans can continue to enjoy it, and the wildlife can continue to use it, the wildlife that depends on it. So you can help. You can use iNaturalist, go to the Buffalo Outer Harbor Fall Bioblitz. We'll put some links up here. You can see what to do, and you can help. And it's fun. It's fun for the whole family. Okay, hi, I'm Jay Burney. We've got this great panel of guests as usual on Birders Roundtable, September 2020 version. We have J. Jean Rose, Marcia Jacqueline, Marcus Roston, and Tom Kerr. And, you know, it's been a wild summer in a lot of ways. We've just been through some really amazing birding events as usual in our area. I mean, it's so rich. And we have Marcy from across the border. We don't get over there. We want to hear some reports about what's going on there. One of the neat things that I've enjoyed about a month ago now was the grass island on Grand Island when the purple martins roost there. It's really an amazing ornithological event. You guys, can you tell us what you know about this event and Grass Island? Tom, you're looking like you're ready to say something.
Actually, I was going to look up the eBird high count for
okay.
Grass Island and purple martins. I should have done that before. I didn't think of it till just now.
Somebody else can jump in while Tom's doing his research.
So, I mean, Grass Island, it's an artificial reef in the Niagara River. It's a sandbar with grass growing in it in shallow water, and purple martins mostly every year roost there, but we haven't had them in the past few years in any numbers that were very exciting. But this year we had thousands again, but in past years it has been in the tens of thousands. So
it's pretty neat to see, and these birds are pretty fantastic. They're from a very important family of birds, the swallow family. And these birds, among other things, besides nesting here, a lot of the swallow family do nest here, but the purple martins, they go to South America. They're Amazonian birds. So many of them, most of them winter in the Amazon. They breed here and they go there. And that's a pretty amazing connection that we have with other parts of our hemisphere. Jean, you saw them. Marcus, have you seen them?
How cool that Niagara River is, and yeah, Grass Island that I believe has been up for restoration with the New York State Parks recently, right? And they just decided to continue to protect that little hotspot of biodiversity. You know, going forward. So yeah, hopefully it just gets even better for habitat.
The island itself has been very threatened. I mean, it's recreational boaters hang out there, party there, and drive through there, and it causes some significant ecological damage. So yeah, DC has decided that they're going to do more to protect the site so that we will have these incredible roosts. There's more than just purple martins that relate to the island. I mean, there's fish spawning. J. Jean, what do you know about it? What do you know about what uses Grass Island? Mr. Ramsar?
Grass Island, I mean, Tom said it, there was dredging that grew. There's now cattails. There's a sort of like barrier island and cool little alcove. I think pied-billed grebes nest there. And yeah, you get these purple martins that come through in the fall. And I mean, what makes me really curious about the purple martins is why don't they come there every year? Where are they on those other years? You know, if you get 10,000 purple martins showing up in the same spot in the same week, year after year, and then the next year they don't. I'm just super curious where they are that year.
Yeah, and you know, what are they doing? I mean, we know that purple martins tend to roost in the thousands this time of the year as they're getting ready to migrate. Are they roosting there overnight? I think that purple martins are actually daytime migrants, I think. So they probably do rest there overnight, but it's at Buckhorn Marsh State Park. If you haven't been there, it's easy to get to. And hopefully we'll have them again next year, but it's such an important bird in a bird family.
So I found the high count for Buckhorn Island on September 5th, 2015. Alec Human counted 30,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Marcus, like you said,
I think
river.
I think we counted, I think what we agreed on was 12,000 this year the day I was there, but it varies from day to day. And Marcy might know more. I think the past couple of years they've been in Canada congregating. Maybe around the Welland Canal. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, no reports this year of that roost. So I'm not sure.
So maybe they went to Buckhorn this year.
Different animals have different migration patterns, and it varies every year. You know, monarch butterflies this year in our region, very low. Last year they were high. Year before that they were incredibly high. This year there's hardly any. So who knows what makes patterns and roosting sites work for birds and butterflies. You know, but they're migratory birds, and that's important. We've just been through, I think we've just been through basically a warbler migration, and the shorebirds are slowing down. Let's talk about what we've been seeing this late fall. You've all been out there looking. Marcy, what are you seeing over in Canada? You've been sending some really nice pictures.
Yeah, we've had a nice warbler migration. I think I'm up to 19 species just in the last couple of weeks. But we've also had an amazing number of rarities. So it's been a really exciting fall. It started out with, well, I was going to say the September 7th when we had the black terns and the red-necked phalarope on the river, and so we were texting back and forth with a group in Buffalo about where the birds were. So that was a lot of fun. And we've had a western sandwich.
That was fun.
That was a lot of fun that day. Yeah. We've had red knot, we've had Hudsonian godwit, we had that great laughing gull, and that was one of the tests. The text that day was somebody saying, "Just flew over your head, Marcy," and I got that message from Buffalo, so that was kind of fun. Yeah, so it's been you know, a pretty fun fall. Yeah, I have to say.
We do have a physical boundary between where you live, Marcy, and where we live in the U.S. There's Lake Erie and the Niagara River. Niagara River isn't that wide, maybe a mile at the widest. But so we can talk about what we see flying from here to there and there to here, and it's really a neat experience.
We did that with the brown booby too. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Well, so what else have you guys been seeing, and where?
I'll jump right on that laughing gull, and that I was really excited to catch that laughing gull. I actually I went down to LaSalle Park a couple of times. Every time that someone saw it, I was trying to see it, but I'll be honest, my gall ID isn't the strongest. So trying to spot it out on that break wall from LaSalle Park wasn't the easiest. But actually, on my birthday, on August 31st, I decided to get in my kayak and kayak out to the break wall. And that led me to a beautiful view of it right next to those immature ringbill gulls. And yeah, it was great to be able to get Lifebird, my laughing gull, on my birthday in a kayak. So, I mean, you can't ask for anything better, really.
I got a Lifebird gull on my birthday once too. It was a Franklin's gull at Art Park. It was a while ago, maybe 8 years ago.
Okay, Gene, what have you been seeing?
I think the coolest thing that I've seen, and it's maybe like right before fall migration really happened, it might have been the end of August, there were 2 swallow-tailed kites near Rochester, so a little bit east of Buffalo. And I didn't have a great look at them, but definitely got to see swallow-tailed kites up in Western New York. And I'd only seen swallow-tailed kites down in Costa Rica and Mexico. I don't even know what they're doing up here. They must have just been lost. 2 of them too. I don't know if they migrated together and went the wrong direction by accident. And, but that was pretty cool to see.
We've been getting them the last few years at Peely and other places in Ontario. So it's almost been an annual bird now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wonder what it is. I know they're more of a southern bird, and they're in the southern U.S. during the summer. But what makes a couple of them show up north towards the end of the summer when they should be going the opposite direction?
Well, how about our usual birding spots in Western New York? I mean, I'm not to exclude Marcy, but Forest Lawn, Times Beach, Tift. Anybody been there looking at fall warblers?
Well, I did a
Amherst,
BOS.
Sorry.
So I led a Buffalo Ornithological Society trip to Tift, maybe 1 week or 2 weekends ago, and it was actually really, really productive. I think we ended up having maybe 12 warbler species that day. It was sort of like a regular warbler day for that time of the year. Nothing spectacular, but a good diversity by the end. I think the 2 birds, we ended up seeing some pretty good birds though, and Karen Lee Lewis found 2 of probably the best birds. So we found a least bittern just sitting in the reeds in front of us, posing for us. It was probably the best view I've ever had at a least bittern. And then Sora, which is a rail that I hear every once in a while in our area. I don't think I've ever seen a Sora in Western New York, but there was a Sora just running up the mud flat right along the boardwalk that Karen found as well, just posing for us. And then we saw a rusty blackbird and a raven, which is uncommon in this part of Western New York. And so it was a good day. 60-something species in just a couple hours at Tift. So it ended up being a really good day there.
I've been seeing ravens better than the Outer Harbor a lot. More than usual. Tom, sorry. I know you did a tour the same day on the Outer Harbor, right?
Yeah, our highlight was actually not a bird. We saw 2 or 3 mink.
Okay.
It was a lot of fun though. I mean, sometimes the birds are sparse and you just gotta, it was nice of this mink to show up with it had a rock bass and it was just sitting there eating it like really with like one eye closed, and we all got great pictures of it. In some video, and then there was at least one more running down the wall of the Seaway Slip, which was kind of fun to watch, just running like out in the open. But we saw black-bellied plovers out on the break wall, up to 4 of them, and at that distance it's really hard to make a call if they're an American golden plover or a black-bellied plover, but they flew, so we got to see their underwing, which is black. So that made it easy. I was saying they were black-bellied plovers because I had been seeing them in the field there, and so then they put their wings up and made me look good. So that was nice. We walked down from Seaway Slip to Wilkerson, and we didn't see much there. And then we walked further into Times Beach, and there were a lot of goldfinches and chipping sparrows and song sparrows and house wrens, but we saw, I think, 1 warbler species. So Tift was where it was at.
Yeah, we didn't get lucky that day for sure.
We had a few
But,
warblers.
I'm
Go ahead.
doing a walk tomorrow at Buckhorn, so
We had a
hopefully
few
we get our warbler fill tomorrow.
we had a few fall warblers at times. We had red starts and chestnut sided, Nashville. Gene, you were there. We see Tennessee.
yeah, there's some Tennessee. Yeah, in a couple groups of Tennessee, maybe 4 or 5 Tennessee warblers that day. It's fun to see those birds together.
One of the neat things that
What
we-
everyone's been seeing this week. Oh, sorry.
Oh.
I think I have a delay, and so I'm talking over
Okay.
everyone. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I think the past 3 or 4 days on our rare bird alert text, there's been a Connecticut warbler in different spots. So for tomorrow at Buckhorn, if there's any Connecticut warblers out there that can hear me, please come land at Buckhorn Island in the middle of the path tomorrow.
I was at the north end of Unity Island today just after work, and there were like 30, maybe at least 30 yellow-rumped warblers in just a few of the shrubs on the very north end. And probably more than that. I couldn't really count them. There were so many of them. There was nothing else but yellow-rumped warblers, but somehow, maybe last night or the night before, there must have been a migration of the yellow rumps, and they were just all over the trees.
One of the neat tools that we have, and Tom and Jay Jean, you've introduced this to a lot of us, is the radar. We can see bursts of birds flying in and out by looking at radar. And it's a great tool. If you see them at night, you can sometimes go out and listen to them, but the next day they're going to be around. So it's radar.
There's
Right,
nothing
Tom?
on the radar tonight.
Not
I'm looking
tonight.
right now. There's absolutely nothing. Oh wait, never mind. I don't know. It's not coming in until I zoom in all the way.
And it's a big hotspot on Buckhorn.
Right.
Buckhorn.
You don't want it to
Right,
be
I don't
there
know
right
what's going
now. You,
on.
Yeah,
you want them to
right.
land there tomorrow morning.
No, they're all taking
Yeah,
taking
right.
off from Buckhorn. It's that
Yeah.
Connecticut warbler I was speaking to.
There's
Well-
300 Connecticut warblers there, right? They're all taking off.
Right. It was a year ago yesterday that I found the Connecticut warbler at Beaver Meadow, which was probably one of the best birds I've had there. So I walked right over to the same spot. Was like, yeah, of course it's going to be there today. There's a problem with the radar app right now, but it's going in and out, but it is showing a big bloom of songbirds migrating right now.
Well, it's really nice to share the border with our friend Marcy and all of our Canadian bird and nature enthusiasts. They're
It's hard
very
to see.
enthusiastic. Yep.
Definitely blue.
Looks terrible, so I'm not going to even bother.
It's a clear night though, right? I mean, they should be flying. There's not much of a cloud cover.
Yeah. You can hear a couple things.
What radar do you use, Tom? What's the app?
Radar Now, it's free, and I downloaded it. I still use it because I've been using it for years. It was such a great tool to have, being outdoors all the time, doing programs outdoors, just to be able to like get the weather forecast out of my pocket. But yeah, it's really great for birds. Back to the purple martins. The night when we were there and there was, probably about 12,000, you could see them on the Radar Now app. You could see that there was something going on over the northern end of Great Island. So I don't know how Doppler radar works, but it's sensitive enough to pick up little songbirds.
Does it show them coming down in the morning? Do you know?
Yeah. If you check it before sunrise, you'll see the same thing, just in reverse. It goes away as the sun comes up. So.
Well, listen, starting to say we share a great border with our Canada friends, and one of the things that we share big time in the winter is the winter birds, and they're coming. And there's a new thing out this year. I mean, it's been coming out since 1999, I think, with the winter finch forecast. But there's a new one out. It just came out this week, and that's a Canada product, Marcy. And people have been relying on this for, since it's been coming out.
Yeah.
There's a new author this year.
Yes.
But tell us about the winter finch report. What do we find there?
It's pretty amazing. Ron Pittaway did it for decades, I think, but he basically built up a network of people who worked in the bush and were able to check out cone crops and other food for the finches and related species. So it's phenomenal, and his predictions were usually very close to what happened. So we're really, I mean, we were all devastated when Ron said he was retiring from it. It was, because we all looked forward to that and knowing what species might be coming into our area from the north. But fortunately, Tyler Hoare, who was one of the reporters to Ron, has agreed to take it over. And he spends quite a bit of time doing surveys up north, and he's making connections, and in fact, new connections. So, and this is not just in Ontario, this is right across, a lot of Canada. So the predictions are pretty interesting and again, very accurate. So we're thrilled that Tyler's taking it over.
What's the prediction for this year? Do you know what's he saying?
The red-breasted nuthatches, for instance, are moving. What I'll do is provide the link to the report to Jay, if you don't mind, Jay, and you could put it up.
We'll put it up here. I'm reading it right now, or at least
okay, so you've got
So what he says about the red-breasted nuthatch, JG, is this species has been erupting since mid-August and continues as this forecast is written. Individuals have made it as far south as Oklahoma and Alabama, with cone crops in the eastern boreal forest mostly poor. Expect this species to continue to move south. At feeders, this species prefers black oil seed, suet, and peanuts. So, and that's, I mean, a lot of different birds in here, including the crossbills. And
I think there's siskins and there's a chance of Bohemian waxwings moving south this year. So so it could be, it's not all the species are coming down. It's not a complete cone crop failure, but there's specific species that will be moving apparently.
What he says about Bohemian is just a paragraph, is that the most likely to stay in the north because native mountain ash berry crops are good and other berry crops range from good to fair. In recent winters, however, they've been coming south to forage on reliable annual crops of buckthorn. Oh boy. So.
Oh wow! Look for them at Tift.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That wasn't a slam on Tift. I'm sorry.
Oh, they have buckthorn. We've all got buckthorn. We've all got buckthorn issues. Right. Yeah, they're working it. But waxwings will be there eating buckthorn.
Beaver Meadow doesn't have buckthorn, but we make up for it with honeysuckle and multiflora rose.
You don't have buckthorn yet.
So the Bohemian waxwings start moving in.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, Marcus, you used to work for an invasive species project. What can you tell us about buckthorn?
I know that is what's keeping Western New York Prism very busy throughout Western New York. Buckhorn being one of our worst, most prevalent invasive shrubs in the region, and I know Western New York Prism is doing a lot of work on Western New York properties trying to remove it. I think a lot of land conservancy projects as well, as they're working at the new property, weren't they? We're removing buckhorn.
Yeah, just about everywhere we buy, there's some buckthorn. So, property we bought on Grand Island, we're going to, called the Galloway Sanctuary. It actually just opened. So it's now, I requested it to be a new eBird hotspot. There's some trails at this cool forest on Grand Island, but there's lots of buckthorn, lots of native hawthorn too, but lots of buckthorn. We've been doing a restoration project in the Niagara Gorge, which isn't a land conservancy property, it's a state park, but there's a lot of buckthorn there too, and trying to replace the buckthorn with native trees and shrubs. It definitely is not an easy one to deal with. And I think it's because, if we get a big flight of Bohemian waxwings this year and they like buckthorn, we're going to have buckthorn everywhere next year. That's I think, what happens.
It's how it spreads? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's probably not just Bohemian waxwings.
Not just, but they do a good job. They're very efficient. Well, we're getting close to the end of our time. Any other topics you guys want to talk about before we sign off?
The BOS October count is coming up I think on the 10th, I want to say. So please participate, and maybe Jay can put a link up for how to contact me about that. I'm the compiler for the October count. So it'd be great to get a lot of people in the field. And I think it's going to be a really good, lots of birds around. So it should be really good.
Seems to me that in years past, Jay Jean and I have worked a Canadian territory.
That's the winter. That's a
Oh, that's
winter
the winter
count.
count? Not,
That's
not
a
the
winter
autumn
count.
not the
Yeah.
October count?
I don't think we'll be. Yeah, that's the winter count. I've got in the fall. Usually Alec asked me to help him, and this year I'm doing Tift and Times Beach. I don't know if I'm going to be doing the winter territory in Canada this year, though. I'm guessing I'm probably not.
Yeah.
This is the first year in a bunch of years we won't be doing an Algonquin trip from
Yeah.
Buffalo Audubon.
Yeah.
So the Finch forecast came, and I was just like, what's the point?
Canada Jays.
You go to the Adirondacks, I guess.
It's a much longer drive.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Well, listen, thank you all. Just briefly, we're still working on our Birds of Niagara February Valentine's Day festival. We don't know yet how it's going to turn out, but we're still working on it. So Birds of Niagara is not going away. We'll figure something out. And we'll hopefully be back with another Birders Roundtable in October. So thank you all. Good to see you. Hope to see each other in person sometime.